All right, welcome back to the Crazy Courage podcast. I have here another couple of special guests with me. I think they are the embodiment of crazy courage, right? I can't wait to hear their story. It's going to be great. Mark and Kat Sterling from Atlanta, and they have created the Nuspira coffee company. But this isn't just any coffee company, and I want to hear more about it. I have some questions. This is a unique product that they're selling. So, Mark and Kat, why don't you tell me more about your company?
I'll let you go.
Okay. I'm Mark, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Well, thought we get that out the way first.
Right. Good.
Kat and I have been in this space, the entrepreneur space for many years. Kat is actually operational on the, I'm going to tell a story, sorry, corporate side, but I've been an serial entrepreneur for, a good little couple of decades. And, October last year, well, for a couple of years, we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do next. And we kind of looking at each other on a regular basis. Hey, what are we going to do? How are we going to do it? And finally, we said, you know what, let's do something together.
Mm-hmm.
And we were looking, was it traditional open ups? We looked at franchise models, went pretty far down those kind of paths. And then we'd actually kept seeing a particular product in the marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
And this was about October 2023. And we saw that it was in the United States only, e-commerce only. There were no kind of affiliate or referral programs. People loved the benefits, but there were several things that people weren't, I'll say disenchanted, but as happy with.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The one thing that we know as entrepreneurs is that the people who solve the biggest problems make the most money. The people who service the greatest needs create the biggest benefits.
Yep.
So we decided to, I think we found product,
Yep.
at least a niche that we wanted to pursue. And that's how it got started. And it all came down to the beginning. It all started with the name of the company.
So even before you had a product,
Yes.
it was the name.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
we
impressive. That's
started
interesting.
with the end in mind, by the way.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Nice.
And so I think what people miss a lot of times is you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You
Right.
just find something and make it better. Find something that's working, that people love, that's about to explode, and make it better. And that's
Yeah.
kind of what we did in this space. And that's why Nuspira came about. And Mark came up with the name Nuspira. New is a play on the word new, and Spira comes from the Latin word inspirare, which means new breath. So we feel like we're bringing a new breath to the e-commerce industry. We want to bring something new and fun to the e-commerce industry. And so tell them about our product.
Yeah. So actually, you mentioned coffees. We do have 4 products. 2 of them are coffees. We have a black coffee and a latte coffee. They're both infused with 6 organic mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because people like mushrooms and coffee.
Right.
So what we did was we looked at the space. I'd actually been involved in a company that sold a singular mushroom inside of a coffee about 10, 15 years ago. We did quite well there. And we recognized that there was a demand in the marketplace for it.
Mm-hmm.
When we saw another company come out that had that similar offering, they had more mushrooms in there. And so we started studying that space and said, you know what we want to do is we want to solve for a few things. We want to solve for the taste. A lot of people didn't like the taste of some other products in the marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
And we said,
That's right. Now, I'm going to stop you there for a second. When you say the taste, you're talking about coffee in general or mushroom-infused coffee?
mushroom-infused coffee.
Okay. You guys are coffee drinkers, so this wasn't
I'm not a
much of
coffee drinker, which is
I am.
right. My wife is.
I am.
Yes.
Okay.
I tried the mushroom coffees in the market, and I was like, Mark, I can't drink this. It tastes like dirt. I don't care what I did. I was like, I can't do that. And we're not knocking anybody else because some people just love it. They say it has an earthy taste, but I just couldn't.
I don't want an earthy taste.
Earthy taste,
No,
right?
I'm good. No thanks.
We wanted to solve for that. We said, okay, we want to make a product that's good for you, but that doesn't have that aftertaste or that earthy taste to it. And so we wanted to make sure that we had something for the pure coffee drinkers, which is what I am. I'm a pure coffee drinker, but I wanted the benefits of the mushrooms, and those mushrooms are phenomenal. You want to talk about those mushrooms? Those mushrooms are amazing.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
So real quick on the flavor, it was important that we found something that the average person would consume. But we also knew that there was a large segment of the population that loved. So I always say I'm a foo-foo coffee drinker. I'll go to Starbucks, for example, before
Sugar drinks.
right, the sugar drinks, right? So I would have to get a grande mocha frappuccino with a double pump or something sweeter. But to stay manly, I would say no whipped cream.
Well, obviously, I mean, yeah, that would be silly.
Yeah. So we also have a latte version as well. That was my big latte. So what we did do though is we went out and we sought out the largest soluble coffee importer in the United States, and we engaged them. And we gave them a flavor profile. We said, hey, here are the different types of flavors we want to get to,
Okay.
because we really want people to consume something where they really enjoy the taste, right?
Yeah. Right. I
And
mean,
we thought they would send us 2 or 3. They sent us 22
Yeah.
different. It took us weeks to get through them and sample with friends and family and people we trusted their voice.
True story. We had to sample them blindfolded
I mean, that's the way to do it, right?
because after a while they all started to taste alike. It was just
Okay.
they
Okay.
all started
Yeah.
to taste.
Yeah.
Let me put my senses, like let me hone in my senses to my nose instead of my other senses, and just try to do it blindfolded. And he blindfolded me, and we blindfolded each other, and we just taste tested each one of them until we came up with the absolute one. We were like, this is it. This is
Kind of sounds like fun, though. I
Yeah,
mean,
Enjoyed the blindfolding your podcast.
Yeah.
That's a different podcast. So let me stop. All right. So, and so we did that. Then we knew we wanted to have the mushrooms in the coffee, and we went down this path of trying to find the best ones.
Yeah.
Because in business, you can only compete on price.
Yep.
You compete on quality, features. So we said, if we're going to do that, we want to make sure we have the best product. And we actually came across this regenerative farm. It wasn't international. A regenerative farm in the United States and North America. And not only were they organic, they also practiced regenerative processes to make sure the earth and everything was taken care of.
Okay.
But also they grew the mushrooms on purple corn.
Yeah.
Sounds crazy. I'm like,
really cool.
Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, I need to hear more about that. Yeah.
right. So, and it's actually on our website. If anyone wants to find out, go to the website about us. We have a whole section on purple corn, right?
Yeah.
So the purple corn by itself is extremely nutrient dense, right? And it has a whole lot of benefits. So anything grown in or on it actually becomes more nutrient dense.
Yeah.
Most of the mushrooms in the marketplace aren't organic that are infused in the coffees. The ones that are, many of the ones that are grown in mediums, for example, like sawdust or oats or different things like this, right? And so ours are just grown in a more natural environment, more closer to what nature had.
Yeah.
And then they're grown on top of this purple corn. And so now we have these extremely enhanced benefits. And we have 6 different mushrooms in our coffee. We have chaga, we have reishi, which is also known as ganoderma. We have cordyceps, we have shiitake, we have lion's mane, turkey tail. Lion's mane is probably the number one because it has people drink our coffee and there's almost an instant benefit. Like a few minutes, they like, wait a minute, I feel more clear or calm and stuff like this.
All right.
More energy. I mean, it's crazy the benefits. And usually I'm one of those people, I'm like, I'm not a cynic. But I'm not a cynic, but I try stuff and I don't feel the benefits. And I'm like, oh my God, I know when I don't have my coffee. Like I feel it right away. Yeah, I feel it right away.
Really? Okay.
Absolutely. You got to try it. We'll send you something. We got to try it. But yeah.
That sounds like a extra boost in the morning.
Yeah.
You're already getting a boost from the coffee, but on top of that, now you're getting focused and wow.
And it's not a caffeine boost.
No,
it's not a jittery caffeine or a natural boost. Just a natural boost. You're like, oh, I just feel more energetic. Oh my gosh, I feel like cleaning the house, or I feel like getting my work done. It's a natural feel that you feel, the feeling that you feel. So it's amazing. I love it. I think
all right.
Sure. So we
that's good.
We came out black.
Yeah.
Here's the whole thing with the coffee, if I can, and this is what we tell folks in 5 seconds. Backdrop on the coffee. Why do we choose coffee as opposed to put them inside of mushroom, put them inside of gummies, or put them inside of pills? So why choose coffee? Coffee is the most consumed beverage in North America.
Yeah.
Behind water. Number 3 in the world, only behind tea and water.
7.
Yep.
7 out of 10 Americans actually consume coffee once a day. 37% of North Americans consume coffee multiple times a day. What we want to do is find a delivery system that did not change the behavior. So we essentially put health inside of the habit.
Right. Now, but there's less caffeine in your drinks, though, right?
There's less. The mushrooms actually mitigate some of the negative aspects of the caffeine. So by cup, you could say there's less caffeine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting. Oh wait, now this is scratching the surface. We even talked about 2 of your products.
Yes.
So now, what else you got?
Well, the third one, I'll let Noah talk. The fourth one, the third one is our Khaev, Khiev.
Yeah.
It's a Hmong word, Asian Pacific word, meaning to evacuate. It's a detox drink.
Evacuate. Okay.
Yeah. It's pronounced Khaev. Well, we found out again in the marketplace. Again, we wanted to solve problems, right? most people that want to detox, if they took something, a natural supplement to detox, it normally was horrible. Matter of fact, we have some even to this day that work. I'm telling you, that flavor, that horrible taste that lingered in your mouth for hours and hours.
Yeah.
So we
Oh,
saw
that's
a
terrible.
change of a mango flavored detox drink.
Really good.
I love
ma-
mango.
We actually
Mango
make it good.
Yeah, it
Love
tastes like
mango.
We have people to this day that I have no less than a dozen, 20 text messages say, can I add this a margarita mix? I'm like,
Right, I can see
oh,
that.
don't do
Yeah.
that. That's how. Right?
it's really good.
And then the other side was the effectiveness. Sometimes when you take a detox, the aggressiveness of the detox, you have to be 3 feet from a restroom, right?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yes.
Ours is not that way. We always say that you'll have an urge to purge,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
But it's like a natural urge to purge. So you can adjust yourself, make room if you need to, right? So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have that, and the reason we want to bring that kind of product to the market is that the average person is walking around with 5 to 40 pounds of unprocessed foods in their system, and the body just doesn't have time to really rest and do what it does naturally because it's always trying to break down these foreign bodies in their system. So we believe that detoxing is absolutely necessary.
Now, okay, for the uneducated, myself, how often would I do that?
Everyone's different. It's
It's right here.
everyone is very different, right?
Nice.
So, for example, my wife, I think, does it 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do it about once or twice a week.
So you just do it by feel, right? Just kind
It's
of.
how I feel.
It's not a regimen, for example, or something, that we're not doctors. We want to make sure we clear that up. We're not saying that, but everyone, and everyone makes their own kind of flow with it. And the other cool thing is we have them in stick packs, even our coffees, for example, right?
Yeah.
Like, here's our black coffee.
Okay.
Right? So it's soluble. That's our SAT word for instant.
Nice.
So you literally just pour this 8 ounces of hot water and stir, and you get all the amazing benefits.
Yeah.
With the Kaya, the detox drink, you literally tear it off and pour it into a 16-ounce bottle of water and just shake it room temperature,
Yeah.
and you drink it. And that's how easy that is.
Good to go.
So simplicity.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
That does sound simple. I love it. I love simple.
Yeah.
Simple and portable, right?
Right? Can't go wrong with those. Yeah, and the sticks, you can take those anywhere.
Yeah. Our fourth product is Magic, by the way. Go ahead.
Oh man,
Magic. All right.
liquid vitamin. It's called Vibe. If you
Vibe.
look at the label, it looks like Vibe, right? It's called Vibe.
Yeah, it's right behind you. I see it. Yep.
Yeah, that's it. It's vitamins in a bottle.
Vitamins in the bottle. All right, that's fantastic.
Hold on. Let me show you. This is amazing. This is amazing. This is like liquid gold. So it's
That's
got
a beautiful bottle.
yeah, it's beautiful. It's amazing. So it's got over 17 vitamins and minerals in it. And so you just take one capsule or one ounce shot per day. Like if anybody's out there like me, I was taking probably close to $300 worth of pills. Like I had like all these different pills I was taking every month, like supplements, because as you get older, you start to lose stuff and you have to.
Man, yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I'm there.
Yes, you get older, our bodies just don't process foods the same. You start to lose different things like different minerals in your body.
Right.
And so it's essential that we take these supplements because we're not getting it from our natural food sources. It's essential that we take these supplements every day. And if you were like me, I was taking a ton of them and my body couldn't process it. And pills are so hard on your liver. People don't understand that. Pills are so hard on your liver. They're hard on your stomach to digest. And this is available within your body within 30 seconds. You take this, it's in your body within 30 seconds. All the nutrients are absorbed. Oh, and then a lot of times those pills, a lot of nutrients aren't absorbed in those pills. Like your body absorbs it, just kind of just eliminates it.
Yeah.
You're spending so much money and you're not getting the benefit. And so this is just, I'm telling you, it's liquid gold. It has B12 in it, glucosamine. What else, babe?
Manganese, selenium. Get on the list.
I can go down the list. I mean, it's just amazing. This is where it's at.
Sounds really good.
And it tastes amazing. It doesn't have that nasty aftertaste like a lot of liquid vitamins or pills. It doesn't give you that nasty metallic.
Yeah.
You have that nasty metallic taste. Like this is.
Yeah, we have
it's like a fruit juice.
4 different juices that in it that they give it a very good taste as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
And that's been a big part of your strategy is to flavor has been big, which I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of nice because no matter how good it makes me feel, if the flavor sucks,
I can't take it.
it's tough sell. It's tough sell.
Right. So we want to bring that we want to eliminate that hurdle.
Yeah, sure.
knock that hurdle down, it's easy for people to want to continue to take something.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you
Absolutely.
tell me healthy stuff doesn't have to taste bad. I'm on board.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
that's what I want to hear. I've been waiting all my life to hear that. Thank you.
We're here for you.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, let's take a little trip in our time machine. Let's
Yes.
go back. How far back do we have to go? You talked about being serial entrepreneur, which I love. That to me is wild. I love that idea of just you start a business, you go on to the next thing you start. So tell me about that journey. How far back do you have to go to talk about your entrepreneurial journey?
Like 9.
You were 9 years old?
Mark's been an entrepreneur for what, 20 plus years.
Yeah, one night probably.
So but I'm more of the safe bet. I don't want to do that. I want to keep my corporate job. I was doing well, but we'll get there. We'll get there. But you can talk about your entrepreneurial journey, and then we'll fast forward to 2022 when I had to let that corporate job go.
So yes, I was the
All right.
kid that would go up to the grocery store and help people take their bags and put them in their truck. You know, where I grew up in Baltimore, we
Yeah.
couldn't push carts to the car. You could push them to the edge, like the outside. There were guardrails, so you had to
Wow.
bring your car.
Oh wow.
So it was a foreign concept for me to take a cart to a car. So when someone wanted to get their car, I would watch their cart, load their car up. If they gave me 25 cents, 50 cents, that was, if I did that 40, 50 times a day,
Sure.
hey,
That's it.
20, 30 bucks.
Yeah.
And weekend, that was a lot of money. So, and I was a kid that, depending on the season, I'm raking leaves, I'm shoveling snow.
Nice.
I would go to the gas station if I got to pump their gas for them. So I would do all these different things. I would go up to the shopping centers and ask the barbershops or the different stores if I could sweep their floors at night. So I always had
Okay.
this hustle /
Hustle, yeah.
yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so that was always kind of me. And so even when I got into the corporate world, I kept seeing a sea of cubes, and
You didn't like that.
I didn't like it. So it was very disheartening for me, right?
How bad?
Good example is even when I was in corporate, literally, it was so funny. I was working for a telecom company, and I was making a decent salary back then, maybe $42,000 a year. I remember I was like 25, 26 years old. And then it was a decent salary. I found that I could double my income by becoming a consultant in the same field. So I did
Okay.
that, started traveling the world. And when I found out what they were billing me for, I started bringing on other consultants.
That's great.
So I didn't have a degree, so I couldn't work for some of the companies that I was contracting for, but I could start my own company and charge them 3 times more.
Right? Genius.
So
I know, right?
I mean, I see it. The corporate world, they shortchange themselves by just looking at a resume or, degrees or whatever. And they don't look past that. And it's unfortunate that the system is still so rigid.
Yeah.
You don't see the people for who they are.
You know what? It's funny you say that because I have a friend. His name is Landon, and he lives in Charlotte, and he has been in corporate, and he's been doing the same job as like director level people and VP people, and they will not give him a promotion because he
Right.
doesn't have a degree. Won't
How
give him.
ridiculous is that?
It's
Like,
ridiculous. It
It
could
doesn't
run
make sense.
around any of those people, but they'll rather give somebody with no experience, coming out of school,
Yeah.
the money and the degree. I mean, and the job versus him, and he has 25 years.
And that's even worse because he's in the company
Oh
and he's proven himself. Like,
Oh,
what
yeah.
more do I need to do?
yeah, but they
Maybe he
won't.
needs to follow Mark's example, become a consultant. That's,
You got to have the crazy courage
It's-
to do
yeah.
that.
have the crazy courage. Yeah.
there's a level,
Said and done.
there's a risk tolerance that everyone should be mindful of.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
I tried it before, and I was like, I can't. I couldn't do it. I was like, I thought to myself, I was like, I couldn't do it until I was forced to do it. I was like, oh, I've always wanted to, but then I saw him doing it for so many years. It's like, oh, that's probably easy. He does nothing all day. He can sit around and make phone calls all day. I can do that. And then knowing, the other side of that, and it is, you have to have a lot of tenacity.
Yeah.
It's not the faint of heart. You
No.
want to quit every day. You cry every day. I mean,
Yeah.
you're on your knees praying every day, like, God, like, please make this work. It's just so much,
Right.
and it's not for the faint of heart because the average person is not built for this kind of wherewithal. You have to have some
No.
to do it, and I admired
yeah.
him
You
doing that.
got to be good working without that security. With
Oh,
no
yeah,
safety
absolutely.
net, no nothing. Like that's the it's good.
Entrepreneurship is like herding cats.
Right.
Yeah.
They may not agree with the herding, but some kind of way you got to bring it all together. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so you're a consultant traveling the world. You had people working under you,
Yeah. Oh, so 9/11 hits.
right?
Working in D.C. Lives in Atlanta, but working in D.C. It didn't. My whole thing went away. The whole niche. It was very specific what I was doing. That whole industry went away.
Wow.
So what I found out is I had 12 months worth of savings,
Okay.
Mhm.
and I went through that in
That's
seven.
smart though. That's smart. You're working without a safety net. You have your own business. You could see something like 9/11 could wipe that out. But you have 12 months worth of savings. So, that is a nice cushion at least.
Yeah,
It's not.
I
except
mean,
It's not enough.
it goes away quickly. I understand that. But,
People don't understand that. You need more than that. You need about 18 to 24 months worth of
wow,
savings. If
wow,
you're,
wow.
you're going to start something on your own, you probably need double that because you're pouring money always into your business. And so people just think you need 12 months, but 12 months is not enough.
yeah,
Right,
We went through ours and and that's just not even that. That's just everyday living. You just
right,
don't
right.
and inflation. You got to account for
Oh,
inflation.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, it's crazy. I'm sorry.
yeah. So,
yeah. So I went through my 12 months worth of savings in 7 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
okay,
They,
wow.
because
So
they're always the I always say the
unexpected.
unexpected stuff for sure, right?
Absolutely. Cars
Consequences.
break down.
Yep. Yeah.
So at that point, I realized that even though I was making great income, um, if something happens, it can brutally interrupt your life, right? In that case, it was a forced, it was a a whole big thing that happened around the world, and everybody's impacted.
Mhm.
Telecom really got impacted, and it was at that point I didn't realize it, but I knew that I needed something. I needed
Right.
something passive or residual, and I always said that. I remember that number. I can't make this up, Nick. $22,674. That's what I wanted to make or needed to make every single month just to cover my basic bills.
Wow.
Right. Again, right now, that number's a force multiplier, right? But
Sure.
back then, that was the magic number.
2000 what?
674.
2674.
Yeah, I'll never forget it.
2674.
And the crazy part was that covered my mortgage back then, my car note, and what I called family maintenance. Some of us call that child support.
Right, right. Nice, nice. Yeah, yeah.
And so I wanted something to come in because what I realized when my nice income went away, and I realized when my savings went away, is that no one cared about my bills except me and the people that I owed.
Yep.
I wanted something. I wanted something to come in that would at least so I could celebrate zero every month.
Okay.
So if I had these amount of residual recurring bills, I need this amount of residual recurring passive income, and that's what put me down the path of wanting to be in a model that at least could create something that was that could offset my basic living expenses.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's where you're focused on.
Yeah.
Yep. So fast forward, getting closer to where we are now. Kat got out of the corporate world. How many years has that been now?
That's two. That's 2 years. That's 2022. I was in corporate.
Yeah.
I headed large departments in healthcare for years and years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some unfortunate things happened at that job. And, like you said, you can go away just like that. You may think that you are safe. You may think that they love you there and things are okay. And then all of a sudden, boom, just like, well, where did that come from? Like,
Job security's really disappeared quite a
there is
bit in
one.
the last 20 years or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
it can come out of nowhere.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist at
Right.
all. And I'll tell anybody that to this day. I'm like, you never want to play it safe because when you play it safe and you get caught with your pants down,
Yeah,
you are screwed, especially if you don't have that 24, 18 months worth of savings.
yeah,
And
yeah.
you are living check to check. And most people are, especially
Yes,
nowadays, people are living check to check.
absolutely.
When you take one income away, just one, you don't even have to have both incomes. You take one income away, you're screwed.
Yeah, the house cards
Yeah.
comes down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Absolutely. And I'll honestly, I wasn't prepared for that day to come because I never would have thought. Like I was just like, what? Like,
Yeah.
huh? Like I never
Yeah.
would have that would ever happen to me. I was gonna ride this out and we were gonna eventually start a business together. Like he was always doing his business on the side, but we were eventually gonna do something together. But I was gonna
Yeah.
have that job to fall back on just in case, you know, but that went away. And so I didn't have a choice. I had to really pursue something different. And so threw it all on the table. We cashed it all in. We said, screw it.
Wow.
Go for this shit. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You gotta
Right,
believe.
it's not a family show. Don't worry about it. Say whatever you want.
I'm
Whatever
sorry.
gets the story out.
But I was like, I'm too old for this. I don't
Yeah.
really have time to start over in my career. I'm not doing that. I've built a career for this long to have it all shatter in one day. And then now, I'm not starting over. I got to move forward and start something different. And so that's when we came together. We said, you know what, let's just do it. Let's just do it.
We said we're going to bet on ourselves.
We're going to bet it all on ourselves. If we fail, we fail, but we're going to bet it all on ourselves.
I've been involved in many companies and been blessed to be a top producer in several from a sales perspective.
Yeah.
Got a chance to go onto the corporate side and help grow some companies substantially in short windows of time. And we said, you know what?
And didn't get paid where you were.
We think that our skill sets complemented each other in order to start our own project.
Absolutely.
But we also knew that, and hopefully I'm not getting ahead of my skis on this, that as much as we did know, we did not want to become experts in the spaces that we didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why we partnered with.
Yes. So we've adopted this phrase that says collaboration is the new currency.
Yeah.
And so we collaborated with so for example, so obviously we're in the e-commerce space, right?
Yes.
We sell dietary supplements, health and wellness products.
Yeah.
And, but we didn't want to start our own warehouse. We didn't want to.
I don't want to fulfill orders.
Right. We didn't want to create a logistics chain.
I don't want to be mixing this in my garage.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't want to be formulators.
No, I don't want to be a formulator.
So what we did was we went and found a partner, if you will. Not if you will, we found a very substantial partner. Matter of fact, one that we knew that we could remember early in the conversation. This one company we looked at was only in the United States. So wait a minute, if they can do as well as they're doing in the U.S., we feel pretty confident as we scale, not when, but as we scale, that we can go international and we could, again, solving for something else. If this many people like this product, imagine what we can do if they grew this way, what we can do internationally as well as we grow. And so we found a partner that can help us do all those. So we basically have fractional expertise at every level, everything from accounting to compliance to legal to manufacturing.
So you have a team. That's perfect.
Yeah.
So does it come at a cost? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
there's a difference between price and cost. What it made, the cost is a dollar figure. I'm not saying the price is a dollar figure, but how much more will we have lost or spent? As a matter of fact, not realized if we didn't have that expertise.
Absolutely.
Making mistakes and
Absolutely.
yeah, learning the hard way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's very, very funny, Nick. I'm sorry. The very first mistake or pothole that we avoided was the name of our company. Originally, we looked at our company as being infused, like the letter N, F-U-Z-E. We could have managed that for the most part in the United States, looking at, U.S. Patent Trade Office, but internationally that we would have ran into problems and we probably couldn't have sold under that name.
Yep.
So, but had we not the compliance division that, we could leverage, they were able to look at that. So they actually were able to ask questions and see things that we would never thought about.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. That's why you need the experts. That's why you need a team.
Absolutely.
Like you said, they're fractional, right? So you're not hiring these people full time. They're not on your payroll specifically, but you're able to lean on their expertise when you need it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Sure.
There's so many things to entrepreneurship that I think people don't think about. Like you just don't think about, you just jump head first. And it's like so many different niches and little gaps that you forget about or don't even know about. And then when you get in it, you're like, oh crap, that's an expensive mistake. Oh crap. Because even the names of all of our products, like they had to help us research that because, we were thinking one thing and they were like, no, you might want to rethink that because you might get a lawsuit if you go forward with this name because it's already this person.
Sure.
You might get this letter, so, there was they can lead you down a rabbit hole.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Now, Mark, is this something that I'm going to ask Mark specifically just because he's the serial entrepreneur in the household there. Are these lessons that you've learned along the way and you think, all right, next time I do it, I'm going to have a team and I'm going to lean on them?
Absolutely. I live by an expression, the mistakes are the GPS for wisdom.
Right? Yeah, I like that.
So I found so many ways that didn't work, but along those ways, we found ways that did.
Absolutely.
Right?
And now you just put them all together for this company.
Sure.
But so you
event.
stack those, right? And then also by leveraging individuals with experience in spaces you haven't been before, you get a chance, where I say, stand on the shoulders of giants, right?
Right. Sure.
You can elevate higher because there's some things that you don't have to learn yourself.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh, and I would say another thing that we learned along the way is, how do I say this? I don't want to say this without saying it in a negative tone. He's had some business partners in the past some past ventures of some past business partners, and it didn't always go so well. So you have to be very careful about who you choose to go forward with in any venture, because when it comes to money,
It's tough. Yeah, money. Right. Mark, I don't know if you had this experience specifically. Money, of course, is, people are going to have different opinion about money, and it can ruin friendships for sure. But there's also, as the business gets going, you start off one thing, then all of a sudden you have a difference of the vision and where you want the business to go. That's sort of where,
Yeah, we've experienced that as well. And I'm not saying that my vision was always the right one by any means, but I'm saying that
but it's your vision. Yeah, it's just different.
the visions are going to be different because, the divine source, the creator, whatever you subscribe to, gives you a vision, right? Wherever you pull that vision from, you have that download. And when it's time for you to execute on it, yours could be wildly different on how you get there. It doesn't mean that, the ultimate goal isn't to get here, but the tangent or the approach to get there could be very, very different. And those things aren't often discussed when you get into partnership.
No, it's not. It's not something you might think of because you're just worried about getting this business off the ground.
Yeah.
You can't think that far ahead because you're too far. So you got to think of what's in front of you.
Always break up.
Right. Exactly. You just,
That's my next thing. Yeah.
you have to be on the same page. I mean, it's not always easy because we have different visions or two different, thoughts about where we think we should go or how we want to get there. But we being partners in the same household is different because
important.
And the end goal and the investment that we made to get here. We kind of like bend and, we give a little bit. When you have partners outside of that, it's very difficult because you have egos. Like you said, you got money, you got all these different things playing factor into that. And that's why a lot of people don't succeed, especially if they're partners, because it's a lot that goes along with that. So you have to be very careful about when and who you partner with as far as business goes when you're trying to start something.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, what about you guys? How, like your dynamic, is it important to check in regularly to make sure that, you're both on the same page still?
Yeah. Because I can be off doing something and he might be like, well, I'm working on that, or I'm doing that, or I thought we should go here, or, so absolutely you have to check in. And where I'm not good, I have to make sure that he's on point with whatever that is. If I'm strong in something, he'll task it to me. If I'm weak in something, I task it to him. So we have to be we have to be in lockstep.
And that was a great answer, but doesn't mean it always happens.
No, it's not that simple. No, so there's bad days and kids are doing one thing, the dog's barking and whatever, and
Sure.
I get that. It sounds easy. Yeah, for sure.
We try. We do try. So we're getting better, but I think when we first started, there was a lot of this, because we just tried to work. Never really.
You got to figure that out. Yeah.
Exactly. And I had one thought, and I had another. He had another vision, and it was just like we had to figure out how to collaborate, make it work. But we're getting there. We're still getting. We're still working for it. But we make it work.
Nice. Awesome. Well, that's important. The idea is that you're both working at it, right? I mean, obviously there's going to be bumps along the way. No, I get that. That makes perfect sense. It's good.
And then we're married. We're in each other's space all day.
Right. You can't go home to vent to your other spouses, right?
He's right across from me. I'm like,
You got to make it work for sure.
Right.
So how did we start the business? This was in 2023, last fall?
So we decided, we wrote down what we needed, everything from capital to projections, doing market research.
We did a whole plan.
We did a whole plan
by ourselves. We put that plan together, and then we actually took it to a couple different people, and we heard a lot of no's. We heard a whole lot and that's another thing I want to drive home. You're not always going to get a yes, and your why has to be stronger than those no's to continue to pursue what you want to pursue, because you're going to get a crap ton of no's.
Now, so those no's, were you looking for funding or financing of some sort? Okay.
Originally, we looked for funding, and then we found, and then we finally got to a point we said, no, we're just going to push everything we have in.
Yep, we're going to do it ourselves.
So this is when you went all in. You're like, screw it. This is a great idea. We're going all in.
Yeah, because we got pissed, and we said, you know what? I literally made a Facebook. I'm dating myself. Everybody's Instagram and TikTok or
we're Facebook.
I made a Facebook post today, and I was where would you watch this? It was today, and I said your no KNOW has to be stronger than their no NO.
Right?
You did. It was really.
I like that.
Yeah. So your no has to be stronger enough. And I say this quite a bit as well, is that when someone else tells you no, it doesn't mean that you can't do it.
Yeah.
It just means that you can't do it with
that person.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's okay. So if you're dogged enough or have enough intestinal fortitude and you think that your program or plan is strong enough, pursue it. No, there comes a time you have to know how to dismount a dead horse.
Sure.
But if that horse can ride.
If you believe in it strongly enough, and we didn't get no's because it wasn't a good plan. It just wasn't the right fit or wasn't the right
Yeah,
time for that.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. Or they didn't understand or see the vision or whatever reason.
absolutely. And maybe it wasn't right for us to work with those people anyway. You never know what's
Sure.
going to end up. So sometimes it is, divine source telling you to go somewhere else. That's not the right person. That no is not necessarily a no for the project. It's a no. This is not the right person to work with. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with those kind of no's because I don't want to get into a situation where we talked about earlier where you're butting heads or it's not the
right.
and
Sure.
they have a vision and it just goes south. So I'd rather have something solid, something yes that's going to be a solid yes, somebody that believes in the vision.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we got here.
So choosing the right partners, that's the end. So whether you're looking for financing, funding, whether you're looking for some sort of collaboration, the team you're putting together, like you're not just going to pick any lawyer, right? You need one that's going to be a right fit for you. Accountant, all that stuff, production.
Absolutely. And we also didn't listen to a lot of the naysayers. You'll have a lot of people in your ear like, why do you want to do like my God forgive him. Like my mother. She's the most pessimistic person in the world. I mean, you tell her something, she's gonna shoot it down. You're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't do that. So you got to be careful about who you share your vision with early on because you got a lot of people that are either going to be jealous of you because they can't do it, or they want to do it and don't know how to do it, or you're going to have people that just don't see it and they're just going to shoot down. And be like, you're going to leave that good corporate job. You can go back and get a corporate job. You shouldn't do that because you're not going to have a paycheck and you're going to lose every.
And that's all they see, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So like Mark said, you're knowing that you got something solid has to be so much bigger. Think about if, Nikola Tesla went forward with his invention. You got crazy people said he probably was.
Yeah, that guy got a lot of flack.
All these people that invented these crazy things or did these crazy things in life.
Yeah.
And, people said they were nuts and they were crazy, but yet they did something amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
No, exactly. And I'll tell you, for the amount of time I've been doing this podcast, one thing that everyone's had in common that was on here and that was passionate about what they were doing, they knew that they could do it.
Yes.
Right. So it's your KNOW. They know that they can do it. They didn't know how. They didn't have the answers.
Yes.
They just knew getting into it that they could do it and they could succeed and they could do well. And look, there's perseverance, there's fear, there's doubts, there's bumps along the way.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, at the back of their mind, they knew they could do it.
Absolutely.
And how comes later. They just know they can figure it out and they will figure it out.
Absolutely.
Nick, when I was in corporate America, I was a systems analyst for many, even in consulting, many telecom companies, right? And as a systems analyst, one of the main things that we had to be really good at was capturing requirements from the business, the things that they wanted to have happen, their desired future state, right?
Yeah.
And then we had to take those and document them and then present them to the developers. And we had to put them in a way that we gave it to the developer without telling the developer how to achieve it, but what needed to be achieved.
Okay.
And I've taken that concept going forward in my personal and business life and say, you know what, here is my desired state, my goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I give it to the ultimate developer, the creator, and say, here's what we want to achieve, not lock in on how it happens because what we think may be different than what the creator, the developer gives us to execute on.
Yeah, I think they think that it's supposed to happen the way that they envision it, and it doesn't always happen like that.
Your point A to point B is not a straight line necessarily, right?
It's like
that journey you're on, it's a winding path.
Understanding all the time because our best thinking has got us our best results.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
When you're having fears, when you're having doubts, when you get those obstacles in your way, you got to look back and see, right, it worked out last time. We figured it out. And you guys know that. I'm preaching to the choir, obviously, but that's the best way to do it for sure.
Yeah.
Wait, so we were talking about how you guys went all in fall 2023. And the first thing now you guys were looking at, you were working on your branding before you had the business, which I think is phenomenal in terms of that's really backwards in terms of how it normally works. Normally someone's like, I'm going to solve a problem and then I'm going to slap a name on it and figure out the branding and all that stuff. But you guys like, no, this is the brand that we want. But brand in terms of, you're like, look, we're creating this lifestyle brand,
Mhm.
and now we need something to fit in it for our purposes. And I feel like it was a matter of matching up with your passion. Is that fair to say?
We wanted our brand to walk into the room and speak for us, even when we
Right.
weren't there.
Exactly.
We wanted our brand to be something that others, if they chose to refer it or talk about it, could be proud of.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was important for us. And the brand is not just the name; it's the look, it's the aesthetic,
Yeah, it's the whole thing. Yeah.
right?
It's us.
So we wanted all of that to actually happen.
That's
And
fantastic.
so we sought out someone we worked with in the past,
Yeah.
who is just absolutely amazing solo agency. And we could have went with big companies, but we intentionally chose not to because we needed somebody that would understand who we were,
Yeah.
and help develop that and bring it out. And we she's like family and to us now. Yeah.
Yeah. She did amazing.
Oh, that's great. You never know who you're going to meet, right?
She did
That's
amazing.
That's awesome. So how long did it take for you guys to get from the concept of your brand to actually put something out there?
So the two parts, I'll let my wife fill in the gaps. So there's concept to contract
Mm-hmm.
is where we got to start. But from contract to go live. Yeah. So I'll start from contract because I think that's different. So we probably contract was in May.
Contract was in May.
Yeah. So early April. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So April 2024 is when we everything's contracted. We're talking about purchase orders, funding, everything's in place, the whole nine, all the agency agreements, everything we needed to get started to create the CRMs, the back offices, the email campaign, anything you think of was signed and contracted in April, and we went live August 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. The one thing I've learned about business is that everything takes longer than you expect. Is that
Absolutely. We had
right?
delays. We were supposed to live when
we had loved it. And if everything happens,
May.
we're 14 weeks.
Oh my God, we were trying to go May, June, July,
Right.
and it didn't go live till August, and we had to push for that. So
Really? Yeah. Right. That's
We'll look back in a year and say, man,
there was a lot.
no, I think we'll say something like, oh, that wasn't too bad, because it depends. We're super profitable. We'll say, man, remember that
That was a
time?
bump in the road. Yeah.
If they don't go right, we're like, I can't believe they messed us up last year. Yeah,
that's funny.
Right.
We fully anticipate. We have everything in place that we think necessary for us to scale and to be extremely impactful, to really bless a lot of people with our products.
Yeah, and we did really good. So yeah.
So we're recording this about a month in to your. We're in September now. So how did August go?
Oh well.
It went well. So we always have good, better, best.
Yes.
And we met our good.
We met our good.
We met our good.
Okay.
We want to be best, but we met our good.
Everyone wants to be best, of course. So you guys are smiling, so it's clearly things must be going well.
They're going well.
Good.
We're here to stay.
Now, you guys are you're in the U.S. to ship to Canada.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there plans to go further than that?
Yes.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we're going to be probably going to Mexico here before the year's out, or 2024 is out.
Mm-hmm.
We have supply chains that are in place that we can piggyback on in 9 countries.
Okay.
Those 9 countries service probably 40 other countries around them in total. I believe that we'll be comfortably in 6 to 7 countries before 2025 is up.
Yeah.
Wow. That's big. That's huge expansion.
Yeah.
Are you going to stay strictly e-commerce?
Right now, yes. Well, I'll tell you what, in the near term, that's what we believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, we're not going to limit.
Not limit, right? Sure. But today, if I'm asking you right now, that's likely scenario.
If it calls me tomorrow, I'll be like, heck yeah.
Right.
I do see a time where they're small box, not necessarily big box, right? So I say small box. We literally were in New Orleans not long ago, and some hoteliers were considering putting our product in the rooms, right?
Okay.
That's something very real that could happen. Pop-up shops and kiosks, we're seeing people talk about. We talked about creating models for those kinds of things because it's a great add-on to places like that.
And
that's a good way to spread the word, right?
Yeah, we have
a
friend that's got a coffee shop. She's putting our products in our coffee shop because people are coming and requesting mushroom coffee.
Yeah,
she didn't have it.
Yeah,
Yeah, she didn't have it, and so people are coming requesting it.
She had people walk into our shop and say, "Hey, do you have mushroom coffee?"
They walk out.
It's trending. See, the trend is your friend. If you can latch onto the trend, you got something special, right?
Yeah.
So, and then she said, no, we don't sell mushroom coffee, and they would walk out. So,
Really?
yeah,
I
so
didn't realize it was such a big thing. Wow,
It's a big thing.
that's awesome. You guys are
Tell
right
you,
there.
you won't go back.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
so we get
Well, that's awesome.
and then we see a lot of salon owners and gym owners
Mhm.
that are picking the products up as well. So when I
Yeah.
say small box, I'm repurposed sales and places like that. And then
Yeah.
also, I think that we may even see something where we have smaller locations that sell specifically, our
Our
product
products, yeah.
solely.
That's what we want.
Wow.
We're not limiting ourselves here.
You're open to whatever. Yeah, that's great. Wow,
Exactly.
that's very exciting. That's very exciting. I love it. I love it. So, any other plans for the future that you can talk about now?
We got some plans. We got a lot of plans. We have other product lines that will come out.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that we will scale and share at the right time.
All right.
We have like 4 or 5 products that we are definitely queued up. But we got tons of swag and merch and things like that. I mean, it's crazy. We got the water
Nice,
bottles,
nice.
the posters, and the shirts and the hats. And here's the crazy part: people are purchasing our products. I mean, our products. I mean, our merch, and they absolutely love it.
Yeah.
lifestyle.
Outside
Even outside products.
Yeah, but I mean, you're creating a lifestyle brand. So
Yeah.
to have the merch to go with it, I don't want to just drink this thing. I want to, wear the hat that keeps reminding me that I'm part of this movement or this lifestyle.
Absolutely.
To be honest, I find it makes so much sense to do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So if you were asking big goal, and it's going to sound it's crazy, and I don't mind sharing this.
No, you got to go crazy.
$100 million a year, in our 5th full year.
Mhm.
5th year? Okay.
And it sounds,
Sounds crazy, but it's not.
and the reality is by that time, we'll be in 12 to 20 countries. We
Yeah.
only need, so $100 million a year is $8.333 million a month.
Okay.
And if you only had the United States to do half of that volume, and then across these other countries do the other half, then we made our numbers.
Fantastic.
So you take the elephant and break it down, and that's where we are.
And
Yeah, who's going to stop you?
our products are good enough to sustain that number. So absolutely.
That's fantastic. Awesome. Okay, well, Mark and Kat, I'm going to thank you for your time. I really appreciate you guys taking the time out to tell me your story. And I've loved every minute. It was so much fun. You guys are great people, and I wish you nothing but the best. But
Same
I
here.
expect that your lifestyle brand is putting smiles on your face, and you guys are living the dream.
Thank you. Let us send you some products.
Yeah,
Sounds good. Sounds good.
and make sure that your audience goes to Nuspira.com.
Absolutely. I will put your Facebook. I'll put your Instagram. I'll put your website all in the description so people can easily click and go and order all these wonderful products.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Same here.